Hello everyone, in today's video we are discussing special Budgie's ability. They can talk. And before we start, make sure to subscribe and let's get learning.
Time for baby to go to bed?
Think about a talking bird, and the first name that pops into our mind would be none other than a parrot. Mimicking voices is an exceptional quality of almost all parrot species, and our little Budgie is also not immune. He catches words and sounds around him extremely well. It is something which he is adept at inherently. But if a Budgie doesn't know the art, it doesn't mean he wouldn't ever. All one needs is simply help his little Budgie polish the talking skills. Pour in your time and effort in your little bird, and who knows, your Budgie might become a pro like Disco or Puck. To teach your Budgie to take his first steps in the world of speech, you must start with the basics. Just like when we want to educate our kids, we enroll them in a school or make them familiar with teachers and books at home. To teach your Budgie how to talk would require you to make your Budgie introduced to its prerequisites. An amateur can become a professional only if he gets access to the learning place of his discipline. Similarly, if you want your Budgie to talk, give him that learning environment. Instead of placing his cage in an isolated space, keep it in the most lively part of the house. It will serve as a learning place for him. Owing to his inherent social nature, your Budgie would work hard to hone his language skills to be a part of the flock. Turning some music on would also do wonders, since Budgies are known to be the music lovers of the bird fraternity and are enchanted by the classical and jazz. Not only this, they love singing them back once they get a hold of it. A strong bond is imperative between a teacher and a student if a positive result is an ultimate aim. If you want your little birdie to be a good student, strike a bond with him first. Nurture that bond and see him clearing all his lessons with flying colors. If your bond is in that phase where your Budgie is not comfortable with your presence, do the base work of making him comfortable with you being around. Just keep his cage while you do your work like reading newspapers, watching television, and more. Then, move on to the next step of playing with him and teaching him techniques like step up. Once he trusts you completely, he can be taught speech. Try reading him a bedtime story to start with. This isn't as crazy as it sounds. If you keep your intonations consistent, he'll surely start picking the punch words up. Till now, we were only teaching our little Budgie everything in a subtle manner. Once the ground has been prepared well and he has become familiar with human voices and words, let's get it all started proactively. Salutations are always the first thing to start our conversation and happen to be the last one too. And it's never a bad idea to teach them to a little Budgie, as they are short and simple to understand. Start greeting your Budgie with a hi or hello each time you enter the room, and leave the room with a bye or good night. Don't forget to stick to a single salutation until he responds with that word. That would mean to move on to another word. Always try to name things while talking to your Budgie, like when feeding him fruits. Take the name of the fruit each time. Say apple each time until he gets it and says it back. This way, he'll learn using those words with a context only. Once he has successfully learned to pronounce single words, it is the perfect time to move on to the next step of teaching him short sentences, or what we call them, phrases. For instance, saying good bird when he steps up or does any task successfully. Telling him, you look great, when you see him after coming back home. Such phrases would be apt to start with. When teaching your little Budgie the basics of speech, having a rhythm is always better than having none. Try making your phrases in the form of jingles with a similar rhythm each time for a particular phrase. Sooner than later, your little birdie will start copying you. Simply pay attention whenever he makes an attempt, as his spoken words can be unclear in the beginning. It would mean that you are going in the right direction. Now, when you have heard your little birdie mumbling something softly, you need to polish it to make him perfect. Encourage him so that he can say those words clearer each time. Repeat his words back to let him know you heard him. This will instill the courage in him and learn them accurately for the next time. Another important thing to note here would be his body language. Say you made him say, "I'm hungry," when he wants an apple. He might not be able to say it clearly, but might look towards the kitchen. Then ask him consciously, "Are you hungry?" and get him an apple. This would let him attach meaning to the phrases. Revision is what helps us all learn our lessons well. The same technique fits well here too. Keep your budgies abreast with each word until he learns well, and keep using them all in the appropriate situations. This way, he'll never forget his speech. It's all about revisiting the vocabulary whenever or wherever it makes sense. So, repetition will be your best key to unlock the magical voice box of your little budgie and never to be locked again.
And that's it. Thank you all for watching. If you want more Budgie videos, make sure to subscribe and like this video. And before we end this video, did you know Cookie can talk over 15 words, but on Bosnian language?
Watch next. Previous video, or is it cruel to keep Budgie in cage? Visit our official webpage for more information and Budgie care.